Okay, Sophia, go ahead.
Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. The unsurpassed deeper fight, cycle one for Dharma, and 100,000 million eons is difficult to encounter. Now that I've come to receive and hold it within my sight and hearing, I vow to fathom the best come one's true natural mood.
Okay, that's good. Okay, let's do one meditation, 1 minute meditation. All right, keep our back straight, our neck straight, close our eye, inhale and exhale to the nose. Count one, inhale and exhale to the nose, count two, and keep going. If you see your monkey, don't follow them, acknowledge and come back to your inhale and exhale. All right, 1, 2, 3. Okay, go. Okay. To go. What is it? Okay. So we learn about the mental formation. Sophia, better you turn on your webcam. Sophia, you understand so far?
Yes, but kind of.
Can you briefly summarize what the mental formation look like?
So when we come in contact, I guess it goes to our mind, and then like the seeds are triggered in our alaya, and it makes us think things, I guess.
Okay, it triggered, that means from the outside, right? When we contact the outside world, it will trigger the seed in here, and it will bring the seed from the alaya to the mind consciousness. That is where that is the whole process, bringing the seed from the alaya consciousness into the mind consciousness, and that's what we call mental formation. The thing inside the mind consciousness is just an object. It's not the mental formation. Does it make sense? You understand the difference between the thing inside the mind consciousness? It's just the object of the mind. It's not the process of the mental formation. Is a process of bringing the seed from the alaya consciousness into the mind consciousness. Yeah. Okay. But usually this is where we make a lot of bad karma. If because the mana concept is the self delusion, self view, self pride, and self love. This is where the emotional affliction, this is where the emotion trigger, and that's why we cannot control. For example, when someone trigger our anger, this is where we cannot control it, and therefore we pray karma, and we pray hatred, resentment, and all those things. So today I am going to teach you how to develop the love and kindness and compassion in Mahayana teaching. This is important. Um, mm, mm. Okay. Okay, Betty, you go ahead and read this one. You.
2. Mental formation. Bodhicitta. Bodhi is a Sanskrit name meaning awakened or enlightenment. The Bodhicitta is a spontaneous wish to attain enlightenment motivated by great compassion and loving kindness for all sentient beings, accompanied by a falling way of attachment to the illusion of inherently existing self.
So you understand the first paragraph?
Yeah, it's just like explaining the meaning of Bodhicitta.
So the bodhicitta, it means that awaken, enlightenment. And this is the mindset that where we wish to attain the enlightenment, motivated by the great compassion and loving kindness for all sentient beings. And that's why when we be able to develop loving kindness and compassion, what does it mean in here? This will help us to remove this one right here from the map. Okay, hold on. Okay, the mana consonant it is the self attachment. This is where the arrogant, where the ego. Okay. So when we be able to develop my loving kindness and compassion, that help us to detach from the self. Therefore, this is help us to remove this. Okay, in order to gain the loving kindness and compassion. That's important. Okay, let me hold on. Okay, Jaden, go ahead and read the second part.
Mental formation. Bodhi is a Sanskrit name meaning awaken.
No, the mind of the great compassion.
Okay. The mind of great compassion, loving kindness, and bodhicitta motivates one to attain enlightenment, Buddhahood as quickly as possible and benefit infinite sentient beings through their emanations and other skillful means. Bodhicitta is a felt need to replace others' suffering with bliss. Since the ultimate end of suffering is nirvana, bodhicitta necessarily involves a motivation to help others awaken to find bodhi. A person who has a spontaneous realization or motivation of bodhicitta is called a bodhisattva.
So what do you understand?
Having bodhicitta is about getting rid of your suffering and others' suffering as quickly as possible.
Okay, so the mind of great compassion and loving kindness is motivated to attain enlightenment, Buddhahood. But in order for one to attain the Buddhahood, that means we the Bodhisattva have to have the bodhicitta at the beginning, Therefore, after that, they will make the vow. We call it Bodhisattva vow, and they will practice to fulfill their vow, because the vow, when they make, always benefit the sentient being. That's what the vow for. Want to be able to fulfill all the vow that they make, that is the time they gain the Buddhahood. So because the whole idea is to help others remove the suffering from their suffering and give them bliss. That is the ultimate goal of the bodhicitta or bodhisattva. This is truly in Buddhism. Some other religion they do have some, but they do not have the complete picture. They only have in terms of word, but they do not have the Dhamma to practice. So I'm going to give you the method how to develop the loving kindness and compassion today, so you will know how to do it. All right. The sevenfold cause and effect instruction develop the bodhicitta. That means the loving. When you hear the word bodhicitta, that means loving kindness and compassion in general. The first step is to recognize that all living beings are our mother, right? Are our mother. And second step is remembering the kindness of all mother beings. The third one is developing the wish to repay the kindness of all mother beings. The fourth one is to develop the affectionate love. That means it's unconditional love. Okay. The fifth one is develop great compassion. The sixth is developing superior intention. 7 is developing the bodhicitta. Okay, this is the complete step. What the recognizing that all living beings are our mother. For example, Sophia, can you help them to understand the comet affinity a little bit? Tell them the negative and positive.
So in like past lives, when you have like a bad relationship with someone and you keep like creating more of like a bad relationship, like in your next life, you'll have like a bad karmic affinity. Like when you see like the person, you probably like won't know them, but like you would just like not like them and maybe feel angry around them. And if you have a good karmic affinity, like in your past lives, you had like a good relationship with that person. In your current life, when you see that person, you'd like them a lot and you would think whatever they say is right and you'd always agree with them.
Affinity, that means connection that we have with them in the past. If we pray a good connection, relationship with them in the past, then this life for the first time when we see them, we have the feeling of liking them so much, even though whatever they say, right, true or wrong, we always accept it easily. Okay. If we have the bad affinity with them in the past, then that means in this life, for the first time when we met them, right, automatically we have the feeling of dislike so strong against that person. Even that person have not done anything wrong to us yet. But even that person look very nice, but we still have the feeling of dislike that person so strongly. Doesn't matter what that person say, we automatically reject or we don't even want to hear. This is the negative comet affinity. So I just want to make sure. Okay, where do we find the comet affinity usually? In which environment that we can see it very often? Betty, what do you think?
Where do we find the what?
Where do we find the comet affinity? Which environment that you can see it? Which environment do you think that usually happen? That you can see the relationship good or bad or both?
What do you mean?
Sophia, what do you think?
I'm not sure.
Usually in our family. Right? For example, do you think that husband and wife, right? Not always good, right? Sometimes we do have a very rough relationship and we damage each other a lot. What about children and parents? Right? You see that children not always, parents and children not always all the time it's good. Right? Sometimes they do have a rough relationship because they do not understand each other. What about sibling? Yeah. Sometimes that you know what? I witnessed this one. I have a friend. She she a little bit older than me, and you know what? She's because her sister make a minor mistake, and you know what? She used very harsh word against her younger sister. And since that day, they disconnect. They do not talk for few years. No communication, no talking. Is that worth it? No, it's not worth it. This is ignorant. Come from ignorance. And we pray this kind of situation. And you know what? And even the mom lived with the younger sister. She did not want to see the mom as well. They said, what? That's crazy. You see? Due to our ignorance, we pray a lot of bad karma. The mom is the one who sacrificed everything for us. And you know what? That's how we treat them. Oh my God. That's a very terrible karma. So let's say that in the family, if we encounter the negative affinity like this, we have to live with the person that caused us a lot of trouble. How do we handle it? Who can help me? Justin.
Yes.
If we let's say that we have to see the person that that causes a lot of problems every day, very often. How do we deal with this person?
Well, if I were encountering a person that is causing me trouble, I would just leave them and just surround myself with people that don't cause me trouble, people who give me peace of mind. That's what I would do.
You say that don't cause me trouble?
No, yeah, I would leave that person and just surround my people with surround myself with people that actually, you know, give me peace of mind.
But they the one do not want to give you peace of mind.
I would just leave.
But if you live in a family, how you live? Can you run away from your family?
if family's the one who's the cause of my problems.
Let's say that a sibling or whatever, right?
Oh yeah. I always try to talk to them or just try to come to a solution. Maybe
Sometimes it's very tough
it is very.
to talk, right? It's very tough to talk. Actually, this happen a lot when the husband and wife live in the family when they have kids.
With my siblings a lot.
You do have with your sibling a lot. Uh-huh.
But we always get over it like 2 days.
Uh-huh. And let's say that later on you guys get old, right? You will have your own family. You have your kid, and you have you marry, you have husband or wife, whatever, right? So when you, let's say that you have you encounter the situation that you guys keep argue each other. I mean, husband and wife. And remember, if that happened, is that a good thing for the kid to see?
No, definitely not.
No, we don't want the kid to see it because it will negatively impact them. Right. So, but how do we deal with that type of situation?
Man, I don't know. I'm not an adult yet, so
I know. I just asking, but I know you are not there yet.
it's a very adult situation.
Okay, thank you. But okay. Anyone volunteer? You give me just say whatever you think. Let's say. Patrick, where's your sister?
We were just eating lunch. We joined in at the beginning, but then we had to leave because my parents just got home, so we went to eat with them. I think she's gonna be joining soon, in like 5 minutes.
Okay, good. That's good. Okay. So, all right, let me I know this is very tough, right? Very tough. But once you understand the Buddha teaching and you have the method to practice love and kindness, you can overcome this peacefully. Remember, when we deal with the negative affinity, what we do? Nguyên,
Meditate?
meditate. Are you sure?
Wait, what was the curse again?
Okay, let's say that when you encounter the negative situation, right? The argue, starting fighting or whatever, right? Argue. What should usually what we should do normally? What we usually do?
Talk it out?
Yeah, we react, right? We react. Is that a good thing to react?
No.
You know,
It depends on the situation.
okay. Do you know usually when we encounter the negative situation, we react, we don't act. You know what the difference between react and act? Patrick, where are you?
Yes.
Okay, when we encounter the negative situation, let's say that you have a argument with your one of your loved one or whatever, right? When we encounter that situation, usually what we do?
We react to it.
Yeah, is that a good thing to react?
No. Well, wait, actually, it could be if you, like, let's say you're in an argument, right? And they're totally wrong. Like, wouldn't it be right to react then?
You know what? Because when we complain about, oh, she wrong, I'm right, or he wrong, I'm right. Because of wrong and right, That is where the fighting starts. Does it make sense? Is that a
Yeah.
good thing that doesn't matter who right or wrong, but when we about to say I'm right and you wrong, that is the fighting start. And we will, that's what we react. That means react usually go with the emotion. When you react, that means you have emotion. So that's always bad, never good. Remember that react is not a good thing. Because the one who react with emotion become emotion will involve. When do we have emotional reaction? Do you think you can think clear?
No.
No, never. We cannot think. Therefore, we will damage our relationship with other. Minor, that means, okay, maybe after a few days, everything will start over. It's okay. But you know what? If you point that, we will break out and we will not communicate. We do not want to talk for month, year. That's what we don't want. Just like the mirror, right? When you have a mirror crack, Alan,
Yes.
when you have the mirror crash, can you make the mirror crash disappear?
I'm not sure about that. Probably no.
The same thing. When we damage our relationship with other, can you make the relationship, restore the relationship to just like the nothing happened before?
Maybe if something wrong, it would be difficult to restore relationships if we cut off relationships by
It's very
any
tough.
means of something wrong. Yeah.
Very tough. It's not the same, right? It will never the same before. Okay, it's never the same. So, and that's where we pray karma.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we pray mental formation. And that's what we don't want. Okay. So today I will teach you how to manage. Okay. First, learn how to manage anger. Secondly, learn how to develop loving kindness and compassion. Okay, let me show you. I think most of the time, right? You guys already see this model already. Okay. Let's say that if someone try to give us the hard time, trigger our anger, right? For example, they yell at us, accusing us. That means our ear contact. That means our ear hearing the voice of that person. That means our ear contact that angry voice. Our eye see that person. That means our eye contact that physical person, right? Then the mind consciousness automatically pay attention to the object. That means the person and the person and the voice, the angry voice, right? Automatically the feeling of anger arrive very quickly and become so strong to the point that it will control your mind. Once it control your mind, then the mind will have the negative perception. That means the negative thinking. How dare this person accuse me or yell at me? What does he think he is? That is the negative thinking. I'm going to teach him a lesson. That is the negative thinking. Once we have that negative thinking in the mind, then the mind will control the mouth and the body. That means the mouth will say harsh word or not the kind word. That means a very mean word against that person. This is the volition, that means the action of the mouth. And the body will act violently, maybe to the point that we want to hit that person, right? Due to the negative thinking we have. You see it? Now, for the same example, yeah, when that person yell at us or accuse us, we hear them, we see them. The mind will pay attention to those two, right? Pay attention to those two, right? And the feeling of the anger arise also quickly, but at this moment, if we do the meditation every day, we can be able to see our anger. And this is what we call the physical mental formation of the anger. Okay, this is important. How do you see your anger physically? Sophia?
Physically, when your like face turns hot
Mm-hmm.
and your fist balls up like this,
And your body?
shaking.
Yeah, our body is shaking, right? That is the physical formation of the anger. Right? Come from the mind, right? If we be able to recognize this physical formation of the anger, then we be able to have the positive thinking like this. I think I teach you many times like this, but anyway, I'm going to do it one more time. Just remind so we can refresh our mind. We should have this kind of positive thinking like this. I know I am angry right now. Anger is not me. I am not the anger. Why should I get angry? Once you be able to say this magic word, right? The tension of your anger will reduce rapidly. Why? Because at the beginning, our focus is on the object, that means the person, and also the void. Now we shift our focus away from that, and we see directly into our emotion from the mind. This is called mindfulness. Does it make sense so far? Once you be able to have this awareness or mindfulness from the mind, we be able to reduce the tension of the anger quickly. Justin, so far so good? You understand?
I'm trying to keep up.
Okay, good. So, or even disappear. And I say this model to many people, and they use it. It's worked beautifully. When I first teach this thing, and I teach you one of the lady that in my class, she would that pharmacist, not only pharmacist, but she the doctor of the pharmacist. That means she be able to prescribe medication to the patient as well. And you know what? Because her patient is veteran, right? That means the VA. So they come to the clinic, and when he walked into the clinic, he yelled from the outside all the way into her room. And you know what? At that moment, she remembered the teaching I just gave her yesterday, and she used it. And you know what? What she said is, at that moment, the anger of her disappeared. It worked just like that. And therefore, she did not, and she had the positive thinking. And you know what? She take a deep breath, and she walk away, right? She did not say anything bad, not have any foolish action against that person. She very calm at that moment. So instead of we have a bad mental formation, now we have the love and kindness and compassion come to the mind at that moment. To the patient, we have that. Therefore, we have the good mental formation at that time. Okay. So this is how you manage your anger. Keep this in mind, right? Use this model. You can take a picture of it if you want to. So just memorize this model for me. It will help you in the future. Okay. Now, this is only help you to manage the anger at that moment. But it will not help you to uproot the hatred or the whatever the bad seed you have inside the Alaya consciousness. But I'm going to teach you that I think it's also a good idea to teach you that before I can help you to learn. Okay, how about this? I think it's a good idea to bring this back. I teach this thing in the past to you guys, but only some of you learn from it. But now it's a good idea to learn it again, so it refreshes your mind. Okay. We need to learn how to forgive. Okay. 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 Let me show you the movie. Where is the movie? Okay, here. Okay, you already watched this movie, but I'm going to let you watch this movie. Okay.
Teachers, let's face it, it's not always easy to keep our students focused. You want to know my secret weapon? Education.com. You log on and you can find games that reinforce any topic you're teaching in class. Education.com also offers over 20,000 printable worksheets and a work
in the classroom are inevitable, but with Education.com.
Okay, pay attention. This is a very beautiful story. I would like you to pay attention so you can learn from it.
One day, after Buddha passed away, there was a king named Usika. He was very kind, and his government was very compassionate. He had a son with eyes as beautiful as the konala, an Indian bird famous for its beautiful eyes. Because the king liked this kind of bird, he named his son Kunala. When Prince Kunala grew up, he was very handsome. His conduct was proper, and he was very kind. King Usika was a devoted Buddhist. One day, the king brought his son to a temple, and he asked a monk named Yasa about the Buddhist teachings. Yasa looked at the young prince and said, "Human life is impermanent. A body goes through the stages of birth, aging, illness, and death. And human life is filled with impurity. Who can have the beauty of youth forever? All these are illusions. In the same way, although the prince's eyes seem beautiful, they are actually full of filth and the source of trouble." The prince was quite puzzled. Everyone always praised him for his beautiful eyes. But why would the monk say that they were dirty and the source of trouble? These words kept whirling around in his head. There were many concubines in the king's palace. One young lady was deeply attracted by Kunala's good looks. When she saw him sitting alone in the garden one day, she started to fondle him, trying to seduce him. But the prince was a righteous person and could not agree to such behavior. He pulled himself together and freed himself from her unwanted attentions. Later, when the young prince was old enough to marry, King Usika found a wife for him. When the concubine saw the lover of her dreams married to someone else, she became intensely jealous, and her love turned to hatred. Not long after the marriage, the king became sick, and the young concubine looked after him carefully until he recovered. He was grateful for her care and said to her, "Because you took care of me for such a long time, I will give you anything you desire." And she said, "I just want to rule the country for 7 days." The king thought to himself that since he had promised, he couldn't go back on his word. Besides, it was only for 7 days, so he agreed. When she was on the throne, the young lady wrote a letter filled with both love and hate and sent it to Prince Kunala. She wrote that her fury would only be distilled if she never saw his eyes again. Now the prince finally realized what that monk had meant, but it was too late. The lady's word was like the king's command, and it couldn't be disobeyed. Kunala reluctantly gouged out one eye and held it in his hand. It is so disgusting, he suddenly realized. Why would such a filthy little thing be praised by so many people and bring so much trouble? Since she wants both eyes, I'll take out the other one too. And when both eyes were gone, everything before him was in total darkness. But his mind was suddenly filled with light. He felt the peace that comes from spiritual enlightenment. When his wife heard the news, she ran to the blind prince and started to cry and cry. But the prince was calm and consoled her with the Buddhist teachings. Human life is impermanent, so don't harbor hatred or worry, because hatred and worry are your greatest enemies. At that time, a bodyguard warned the prince, "Your Highness, if you stay in the palace, I'm afraid that your life will be in danger." The prince, of course, was already aware of this, and since he didn't want the court lady to continue making bad karma for herself by doing something even worse, he and his wife fled the palace. They learned to play the lute and to sing, and they wandered from town to town, making music in the streets. People would throw them a few coins, and in this way, the prince and his wife were able to feed themselves. A few years later, they happened to come back to the capital. And one day, while they were wandering into the streets alongside the palace and started to sing, King Osika heard the beautiful but mournful songs. He thought of his son, who had suddenly disappeared years before. He told his attendants to invite the musicians to enter the palace. When the king saw the lute player, he realized that it was indeed the son that he had been thinking of day and night. When he saw how Prince Kunala had fallen from his royal life, he was now only a blind lute player singing on the streets for a living. The king was very distressed. He asked the prince, "Who did this to you? Who made you lose your sight?" But Kunala refused to talk about it. He just told his father about the truths that he had learned, hoping his father would calm down. At last, the ministers and the guards couldn't endure it anymore and reported the truth to the king. He was furious and wanted to execute that concubine, but the prince begged his father to forgive her. The king was touched by Prince Kunala's compassion and released the young concubine. However, in her own conscience, she was ashamed of herself and finally committed suicide. Because of her impure love, she had created trouble and hatred, hurt other people, and destroyed herself. Was it all worth it? You see, in life, the truth is not only in good looks, but it is in a pure heart and pure mind. Emotions, good ones such as bad ones, can be impure or they can be whole and real. Love should never be destroying. Love and jealousy should never be together. Real, true, and all-forgiving love is the truth. Love that breaks, destroys, and hurts other people is not love. It is something else. Sometimes everything in life can be an illusion. Only time will go on relentlessly. So don't waste your time by hurting other people, or thinking thoughts, or doing deeds that are no good to anyone. Use your time here wisely and be a good person. This is Dare to Do Motivation Stories. Thanks for watching and stay blessed.
Okay, who want to help me to summarize the story? Jaden, you want to do that? Jaden?
Okay. Well, there was a prince, and he was after Buddha's death. The prince was born. He was named after a bird. I can't remember exactly what it was called, but
Kunala.
Kunala, yeah. And Kunala, the prince, he was supposedly like very handsome. And one day, when his father, who was really into Buddhist teachings, took him to a temple, the monk there said that Kunala's eyes are like the source of trouble, or like the source of like bad things. And then soon after, a concubine is attracted to Kunala and tries to like marry Kunala, I think. Kunala refuses and then goes away. And then when Kunala is like 18 or the age of marriage in India at that time, his father finds him a wife. And then the concubine that tried to marry Kunala was like, got really mad. And then soon that anger turned into hatred. And then it eventually became unsafe enough for the for the prince to be in the palace anymore because of that woman, and left with his wife. And then soon after,
You know why she be able to become the king for 7 days?
what?
Do you know why the lady become the king for 7 days?
I think it was something relating to injuring the king. I couldn't fully remember.
Okay, because the king, the actual king, he was sick, right? And
Yes.
she the one who took a good care of the king for a long time. And that's why the king said that if you want anything, I'm going to give to you. So that's what the lady said, okay, I would like to become a king for 7 days. And he agreed. And why she want to become the king for 7 days?
So that she would have the power to get the prince.
Yeah, that's right, to harm the king. And that's why the king and his wife left the country. And what happened?
And well, after they came back, I think what happened was the prince tried to harm the prince. I mean the woman. She tried to harm the wife, I think. Maybe that was another one.
Oh no. Actually, the prince, he got a letter from the lady, right? The king, right? and he poked his eye, right? Both eye, right?
Oh, that's what happened.
Okay, because once he became the
I got a
king,
bit confused.
once he became the king, and she wrote the letter. That in that letter contained both love and hatred, right? And she command the king to no, the prince, that I don't want to see your eye anymore. And at that time, the prince realized, he understood, and he poked his eye out, right? One eye, and so the lady want both eyes, so he said, okay, I'm going to take another eye too. At that moment, he realized the monk said that, oh, okay, your beautiful eye is a full source of impurity and trouble. That is the time that he realized, and he and his wife left the palace. And what did they do during that time?
He learned how to play instruments and played
The
them on the
flute,
street.
the flute, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And to make a living, right?
yeah.
And after a few years, he came back to the capital, right?
Yeah.
And king hurt the flute player very emotionally, and he asked his attendant to call them in, and he, because day and night the king always think about his son, the one who disappeared for few years ago, and now he know that this is the one that the flute player is his son, and he the king know that from the prince fall from the royal family into the street playing flute for a living. Oh wow! And he asked the prince about who caused this to you, who did to you. Sophia, what the prince said?
Could you repeat that?
Okay, so when the king invite the flute player into the palace, and he realized that is his son, right? And um, and the king said that who did this to you? What the prince replies?
The prince didn't say anything. Instead, he talked about the teachings that he learned.
And after that, who report to the king?
The guards.
The guy, okay. After the king heard it, what happened to the king reaction?
The king was really mad. He wanted to execute the concubine. Concubine. But the prince said no, and the prince begged his father not to, and his father was surprised about how much compassion he had.
Yeah, he want his father to forgive the lady. If he want to revenge, right, he already have the chance to revenge after he left the palace. And after 7 days, that lady no more on the be the king. He can come back to the palace, and he will report to his father, and they will kill that lady right away. But he did not do that. Okay, he did not want to. He want to forgive, and this is very tough to do, right? So next week I will walk you through the model of the next model of the Buddhist psychology. Okay, I will show you. There are two models of the Buddhist psychology. Okay. Okay, this is the first model. Okay. Temporary manage the anger. And the second model here, I will teach you is there are 5. The first one is they call the 5 particular state. This is the second model. It will help us to uproot our resentment, our hatreds. and that means remove it periodically. There are 5 elements in it. And the first one is the desire. The second one is the determination. The third one is the mindfulness. The fourth one is the concentration. The fifth one is the wisdom. Once you learn this model, you will be able to help you use your love and compassion to watering on your bad seed. It will uproot that one, and after that, I will help you to learn the 7 step of the bodhicitta. Okay, that we learned today. Okay, no, not this one. The 7 step. Okay. Okay, this one right here. So you will learn about this. Okay, where are you? Okay, the 7th step. The reason why I teach you this, I go back to the 12 link so you understand. Okay. Due to the ignorance, when the mental state is, the process of mental state is very tough for the ignorant to recognize. Therefore, we pray bad karma. And due to the bad karma, because we do not learn how to forgive, we do not learn how to manage our anger, that power of bad karma for the past life, right? And when we die, we will go into the next life. And in the next life, I will teach you before going to the next life, there is the intermediate state we call the bottle. That is the 49 day. After the person dies, it's a 49 day. I should briefly go through that so you understand. I don't, because that will take me a few months to teach you the whole thing. But I only briefly give you an introduction into it so you understand. And one is to go into the consciousness. This is where we enter into the mother womb. And this is the current life that it will depend on the karma and you will learn about when we enter into the mother womb. I will show you the 38 week of the fetus development. So you understand the power of the karma create the fetus body and the mind. Okay, so you will learn all those things. All right. Okay, let's stop right here. We done for this thing. Quyên, go ahead, Quyên.
May every living being, our minds as one and radiant of light, share the fruits of peace with heart of goodness, luminous and bright. Let people hear and see how hands and hearts can give in unity. May their minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and joy. May kindness find reward. May all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light break the darkness of their endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise.
In this teaching, you will learn the past life, the current life, and the future life. Okay, that's the whole process you are going to learn. All right, con. Nam mô A Di Đà Phật. Thank you, con.
Chào thầy, bye bye.
Okay, con.
Chào thầy.
Dạ, con chào thầy, con cảm ơn thầy.
Cảm ơn con.
Rồi,